Good morning, everyone. Day 12, 27th of March here in Madrid. Uh, Today I would like to share, apart from the daily analysis we run on the daily death rates and new infected, I wanted to share the reasons why China was able to get the outbreak under control and limit it basically to the Wuhan province. I found a very, very good video from George Thompson, so I want to share part of this video. We'll also, as always, add this video to my playlist on my YouTube channel, so we will find that video if you're interested to watch it in its full length. It's there. I want to thank George for his work. And well, let's start with our analysis. So we will look at China after our daily analysis. Let's directly jump into the data. Remember, we analyzed these 8 countries. And yesterday, as the first time that Spain surpassed Italy, we had 6 more daily deaths. And while Italy looks like they're in the window, in the peak window, they did not surpass their record high. So that looks promising still. While in the daily new cases, the exponential growth continues, we can see that we have almost 45,000 new cases daily yesterday in the 8 countries we observe. In the United States alone are just skyrocketing over 17,000 new cases yesterday, which is obviously very bad news. Well, looking at our comparable data, when we decided to start analyzing where all 8 countries were almost around 200 cases. We start counting the days to be able to compare what happened in China, what happened in the other countries. What is really impressive here, and you can see this, is that the Korean government really did a fantastic job. After 14 days, they were almost the same number they had in day 1. With the 227, they went down to 309. They peaked around 800. So they did not lock down the country again. They didn't do that. They just did extensive testing and isolation. So this country is open while we speak. China, at the same time, locking down, reached 3,600 cases after 14 days. United States, very worrying. They started here and they're off at 9,000, almost triple the number of cases of China, while only Spain is topping this at day 14. And Italy will also do it, but at day 14 they were still below the Chinese numbers. But we can see that Germany is picking up here as well. They're close. They were even 4,500 yesterday. So there are really bad days to come for the bigger countries in the world and in Europe. So here again, this blue zone, I just highlighted. You can see how South Korea and China could control this. This statistic is again the daily new detected. The comparable, we said 14, day 14, we have data for all the countries. So we can see that here, the United States starts to really peak out. After yesterday was close to China, now they're really moving away from China, while China's is this red line is coming down slowly into this blue window, while all other countries are breaking out of this zone. Regarding daily deaths, we are calculating now the day 18 here. So we have 18 days where every single of these 8 countries reported 1 or more deaths for the first time. So we have 18 days after the first reported deaths. We can see that South Korea again, unbelievable controlled, only 2 deaths after 14 days, 1 death and then 2. China went up to 97. While the United States, that statistic looks still good, 23 at day 18. UK is already 48, Germany 61, and France, Italy, and Spain, they are not very close at the same data or even far above China already. So Spain clearly with 150 more than France and 165 more than Italy on the top. Germany, as of yesterday, 61 daily deaths, and France doubles that with 112, also over Italy already. What does that mean? Yeah, we can see the graphs. As you said, only Germany is lagging because they just reported the first death only 18 days ago. You can see that other countries are picking quickly up. So we can see Spain as of yesterday, 718 daily deaths, clearly on the top here. Well, the trend will continue. These numbers these numbers go up in the next days, while China and Korea are coming closer to the peaks. The peaks, Italy, day 7 now of the window. You can see it. Good news here that since day 1 of the window, they did not surpass the 793. Yesterday, 712, again up from the day before, but it's still within these peak numbers. Also true for the new daily infected, even if it went up again with 1,000. We did not top the first day of the peak window, 6,557. So still observing. You have still, as you can see, 5 days to confirm that the peak was really reached. Yes, you can see China reach it here, 21, 22. So there's still some days to confirm if that forecast makes sense here. We can really compare China with Italy. Same for Spain. Spain is still going up as expected. Yesterday, again, a new record high in daily deaths and also in daily new infected. We are around 8,200. Day 2 of the peak window, so we still have to run through this, as you remember. And we'll see what's going on in the next 5 to 7 days. So now I would like to show you a short video how China managed and is still managing to control this outbreak.
I left Britain about a month and a half ago to get to Hubei province in China, and at the time I thought this was a really stupid decision. So I did not expect the situation that we're in now, that actually Wuhan is safer than Britain. How has China taken control of this crisis? Well, I've been living in Shanghai with Wu Ming for the last 3 weeks. I want to show you a bit of an insight into life here in China at the moment, and in particular 3 things the Chinese government have done to control the crisis that I think would be pretty hard in Britain. It's not all sunshine and daffodils. I'll talk a bit about the darker side at the end of the video. The crisis has been a massive cost to the Chinese economy. They've taken the hit early on and hoping to reopen now most of the country. Every single person that comes into China now has to self-quarantine for 2 weeks. So every day I had to fill in this grid with my temperature. I'm just doing it now. 35.7. I don't know if that's low or not, but it's not a fever. And any flight coming into the country is screened. We've been waiting in Shanghai airport for about 2 hours now. We'll get there eventually. Compare that to Britain, where many flights left Italy, the centre of the European outbreak. On arrival, not even temperatures were taken. Controls were even tighter in Wuhan and Hubei, where you basically weren't allowed to leave the house. And you could only drive with a special permit. It's been the most aggressive disease control attempt ever in history. And it does seem to be working, because if people stay at home, the only people they can infect are their families, and then the transmission of the virus stops. So complete lockdown, tracing those with the virus with big data. And the glue that holds it all together is the intense promotion of social solidarity. The government have framed this as a people's war against the virus. There does seem to be a coming together of China. For example, 20,000 medical workers flew into Wuhan to help with the crisis. There's moving images of the doctors, both male and female, having their hair cut because supposedly there isn't time to shower. These messages of solidarity are all over social media and big adverts like these.
加油中国 Wait, do it.
Overcoming the epidemic requires collective action and personal sacrifice, like not panic buying and staying at home when you're told to. And the Chinese state has tools like these, screens in every public space, as well as controlling social media. And that has meant that the Chinese populace has complied with the requirements to control the virus, and not only comply but feel proud about it, at least on the whole. comparing these bold actions of the Chinese state against Britain's response, which has been wash your hands, it could make Western democracies look impotent, and that's certainly the narrative that the Chinese media are pushing. But as you've probably thought to yourself watching this video, there are downsides to these policies. I'm not going to talk about them. I'm in China to share their ancient philosophy and Tai Chi and all these wonderful things about China. And I don't want to risk anyone around me. But if you want to learn more, I would read Orwell, and I've linked some articles and videos in the description. I'd love to hear your thoughts on what we should and shouldn't take from China's experience. In this time of crisis, where I'm worrying about my loved ones like I imagine you are, I hope that we can get through this, and I hope that we remember our values, the values of freedom and mutual respect. Historically and today, these aren't the norm, and so they're precious. Thanks for watching. I will see you when I see you next. Mask back on.
Okay, so the question now is how we understand how China managed and they're still managing the control of the outbreak, and they're slowly trying to get back to a normal situation after more than 2 months of lockdown. So what can we learn? So first of all, again, the keys to China's success to control this COVID-19 outbreak. Well, China is not a democracy, but they have the centralized authorities and could immediately execute, and did it. So no endless discussions like we find in our governments here that take sometimes days or weeks to make decisions, and every minute counts. They used, again, like Taiwan, technology, big data to geolocalize and trace infected. Then very fast decision making was displayed in execution. For instance, they constructed a hospital, a huge hospital, in only 10 days in Wuhan. Well directed and coordinated actions. The people, the managers or the responsibles, are very, very efficient in their carrying out their actions. And then finally, they create also a sense of belonging to the purpose to fight the COVID-19, united for the people of China. The people absolutely supported everything from the first minute, and that is also one of the key factors to success. So what can we learn then from China to combat future virus pandemics? Well, summarized, it is clearly fast decision-making, execution of measures by the government, the great communication to the entire population. They create a purpose to unite the people around the purpose. The centralized epidemic control center under one central government, not states. We have in Spain, for instance, that problem with too many states. They are, let's see, the authorities for health. And that is a problem if we have a pandemic like that. You have to coordinate these states and 17 different states, and that is really not easy to make the right decisions quickly. Yeah, then simple, easy to execute outbreak protocols, very similar to what we have learned from Taiwan. Early proactive coordination is key. And then again, technology, both mobile applications, big data analytics, databases, they are really key to be able to track fast and to track exactly where are the people, most people are infected. You can determine quicker the focus areas of the virus outbreaks, and can better isolate. Yeah, well, that is it. Thank you very much. And I wish you a great weekend. We go into the weekend, hopefully good weekend for Italy, and hopefully also better weekend for Spain.
Noche de bohemia y de ilusión, yo no me voy a la razón. ¿Cómo te olvidaste de eso? Busco y no encuentro una explicación.